You're listening to Hot Topics on Good Mix Radio, hosted by Mike Melody and Sheila Harmony. And each week, they dive into the top trends, pop culture moments, and viral stories dominating the web. They unpack the chaos with humor, sharp takes, and insights you won't find anywhere else.
You know, we've all seen how fast information just flies around the internet these days. It really shapes our conversations, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
It feels like trying to drink from a fire hose some days. You've got headlines flashing by, social media feeds just scrolling and scrolling. And it's a real challenge to figure out what actually matters and, maybe more importantly, why it matters.
Exactly. That's the key part.
So today we're going to try and cut through some of that noise for you. Our mission, like always, is to bring you the essential insights from this week's big topics.
Right.
Okay, let's unpack this week's digital pulse. Because America, here in the second week of September, has some, well, incredibly diverse headlines really dominating the conversations.
It really does. And our goal isn't just, listing what's trending. It's about helping you understand the drivers behind these things, connecting the dots, and giving you that wider context, hopefully delivering those aha moments that go beyond just the surface level stuff.
And it's quite a lineup we have for you today. I mean, from the heat of national debate to the buzz of pop culture, we're covering a lot of ground. First up, we'll dig into the conservative commentary of Charlie Kirk and a recent incident that really sparked a huge national debate.
Yeah, that was significant.
Then we'll pivot completely, glitz and glamour around the highly anticipated 2025 MTV Video Music Awards.
Always a big one.
From there, we hit the gridiron, the latest on the Baltimore Ravens and how they're looking early in the NFL season. And finally, jumping into the gaming world, the phenomenon that is Hollow Knight, Silksong.
Ah, yes, the waiting game.
Right. So these are all topics grabbing global attention, and we want to explore, what makes them resonate so much right now. It's just undeniable how quickly information moves online now, isn't it? Shaping everything.
It really is.
We've all felt that, right? The story breaks, and then boom. It just seems to explode across every platform in minutes.
Yeah, like wildfire.
It's like this rapid-fire relay race online. Initial reports get shared, then dissected, debated. It drives the whole news cycle.
And a really critical point here is how the speed isn't just delivering the news anymore.
Right.
It's actively shaping the conversation itself. I mean, things go viral in hours. Social media has just dramatically shortened those cycles, accelerated everything.
It's like a feedback loop.
Exactly. Online talk reflects events, but it's also influenced by the speed and the sheer breadth of the coverage. It's almost like the conversation co-creates the trends sometimes.
That makes sense. And the topics we're hitting today are like perfect examples of that dynamic.
Definitely.
Some pop up from specific incidents, instantly polarizing things, while others show this broader cultural engagement that just gets amplified globally by social media.
Yeah.
It's fascinating watching this digital pulse work across such, well, different subjects. Okay, let's start with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
A name you've probably seen around consistently in the national discourse.
Very prominent.
He's a well-known conservative activist, founder of Turning Point USA. And this week, the conversation is really focused on an incident at Utah Valley University.
Right.
It's described as a confrontation during one of his scheduled campus talks that escalated pretty significantly, sparked a huge debate.
It did.
From the sources we've looked at, what really made this confrontation stand out? Why do you think it grabbed national attention so fast, beyond just Kirk being well-known?
Well, that's a key question. Our sources point to a couple of things. First, the instant virality of video, footage captured by people there.
Like phones everywhere.
Exactly. It was broadcast globally almost immediately. Second, Kirk's whole platform, his organization, Turning Point USA, it's built around promoting conservative views on campuses.
Since when did he start that?
He founded TPUSA back in 2012, specifically to engage young conservatives. He's very active in campaigns, uses these high-profile talks and media spots to challenge, what he sees as prevailing campus narratives.
So these events are kind of designed flashpoints sometimes.
They often become flashpoints, yeah. So this incident wasn't just like a random protest. It immediately tapped into these existing really charged debates about free speech versus safe spaces. It became an instant symbol in the ongoing culture wars.
Wow. So it wasn't just what happened, but how quickly it turned into this potent symbol online.
Precisely. That symbolism resonated across that digital pulse almost instantly.
So what happened right after? What about law enforcement? And how did the country react as the footage spread?
Well, the immediate aftermath was pretty swift. Law enforcement launched an ongoing investigation. They're doing forensic analysis of evidence, interviewing witnesses, reviewing security footage, the whole process.
Standard procedure, but intense.
Very. And nationally, it just sparked this intense political discourse. The reactions were all over the map: strong support for Kirk, strong condemnation of the confrontation.
Polarized as expected.
Highly polarized. And one key insight from our sources is how the sort of traditional campus debate model seems to be struggling now.
How so?
Well, it seems like opposing viewpoints aren't just seen as intellectual disagreements anymore. They're often framed as, moral affronts.
Ah, right. Higher stakes.
Exactly. And that shift is forcing universities to rethink their role as maybe neutral forums. It's driving calls for more security, which, ironically, some argue could end up stifling free expression. It's a real bind.
That's a tough balance, isn't it? Free
Yeah.
speech versus public safety.
It's extremely tough.
And this incident definitely kicked off a nationwide conversation about campus safety. So how are universities reacting? What changes might they actually be implementing?
Yeah, many institutions are definitely reevaluating security. We're hearing discussions about enhanced protocols for public events, more collaboration between local police and campus security, implementing better emergency response
That
plans.
makes sense.
The goal, according to what we're seeing, is to try and create environments where diverse views can still be heard, but with, clear boundaries and measures to prevent things from getting physical. It's complex, and this incident really pushed it to the forefront.
Okay. From that intensity and complexity, let's pivot. Something that maybe unites us or perhaps divides us in a totally different way: pop culture.
Right. A gear shift.
The buzz around the 2025 MTV Video Music Awards has been just as loud this week, but obviously a very different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, when those VMA nominations dropped, my social media feed it exploded. It's always a massive debate, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Who got snubbed?
Totally. Who got snubbed? Who was a surprise? Who wore what? Even in the announcement photos.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a national pastime, guessing who's in and who's out. And what's interesting here is how the VMAs really show how social media doesn't just reflect these cultural conversations.
It shapes them.
It actively shapes them in real time. Through all the discussions, the critiques, the celebrations, you see artists like Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar dominating major categories this year.
Yeah, big names.
Right, but it's not just about popularity. It seems to reflect a critical shift, maybe towards more authenticity, lyrical depth in the mainstream, moving away from just pure commercial pop, perhaps.
That's interesting. So the nominations themselves might signal a trend?
I think so. This year's list seems to suggest a growing industry nod towards artists who are mastering, nuanced storytelling, cross-genre appeal. It feels like a bit of a departure from trends even 5 years ago, based on some industry analysis we saw.
So it's more than just a popularity contest. It's like a barometer for where music tastes in the industry are heading.
Could be. And with the VMAs, it's never just about who wins the award, is it?
No way. It's the whole show, the spectacle.
Precisely. It's about the live performances, the potential for these amazing collaborations that often get teased out closer to the date.
Right.
MTV themselves put it pretty well. They said, VMAs are always a celebration of music's power to bring us together.
Nice quote.
And, a fascinating little tidbit from industry sources, sometimes a perceived snub can actually generate more buzz for an artist than a nomination.
Really? How does that work?
Well, it keeps them in the conversation longer.
Right.
People debate it, defend them. It sounds counterintuitive, but it can be really effective for generating more long-term engagement. Keeps that digital pulse going.
Huh. That's a brilliant look at the mechanics of hype.
Yeah.
And social media is just absolutely vital in the run-up. Fans sharing reactions in real time, speculating like crazy about performances. And those hashtags just drive the global conversation.
Makes it a worldwide trending topic almost instantly.
Yeah. Perfect example of how a cultural event just takes off online. Okay, speaking of spectacles and really passionate fan bases, few things stir up as much collective excitement and maybe argument as our next topic, the gridiron.
Ah, football season.
Yep, the Baltimore Ravens starting the NFL season strong. They're definitely grabbing fans' attention.
They are.
Their season opener was, thrilling. But looking at our sources, what specifically about their offense and defense made it stand out?
That's a good question because it wasn't just like raw talent making plays.
Right. Strategy matters.
Exactly. Sources point to a really refined read option offense with Lamar Jackson. They integrated some new play action stuff that seemed to keep the defense guessing, opened up both the run and the pass really effectively.
Okay.
And defense.
On defense, they were getting consistent pressure using these innovative bliss packages, especially from their edge rushers, really disrupted the other quarterback, forced turnovers. It was that tactical depth, not just individual stars, that really set them apart early.
Gotcha.
As one NFL analyst we saw put it, the Ravens' season opener was a clear indication of their championship aspirations. Their performance was both impressive and intimidating.
High praise. That kind of strategic execution really lifts a team, doesn't it?
It does.
So beyond those specific plays, what are the Ravens' sort of broader strategic advantages, their team strengths that position them well right now? Well, looking bigger picture, they have a really robust defense. It's been consistently ranked near the top of the league for a while now.
Right.
The offense, obviously led by a super talented, dynamic QB like Lamar Jackson. And they have a coaching staff known for being adaptable, innovative.
But are there any potential weaknesses people are pointing to?
Well, yeah. While the offense is explosive, some critics in our sources mention a potential over-reliance on Jackson in certain situations, maybe like the red zone, that could become a vulnerability down the line.
Something to watch.
Definitely. So while they look strong, there are still strategic questions for the coaches. And the big challenge now is, how do you keep that momentum going through a long, tough season, especially with big rival games coming up?
Yeah, maintaining consistency is key in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like they've also handled things well off the field, too. We saw news about star player developments, maybe better team chemistry with new players.
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
And didn't they have some quarterback controversy noise in the offseason?
They did, but management seems to have addressed that proactively. Sources suggest things are much more stable, more unified heading into the season now.
That's crucial for team focus.
It really is. And
Yeah.
even with some injury updates affecting strategy, a few key players sidelined for a bit.
Always happens.
Right. But the team seems to have adapted, leveraged their depth to stay competitive. Fan reactions are overwhelmingly positive, praising the team's play and their resilience.
And the analysts?
Analysts are generally noting their potential for a really successful season, maybe a deep playoff run. The consensus is they're strong contenders, and how they handle challenges is a big plus.
Okay, contender status noted. Now, if you think sports fans are passionate,
Uh-oh. Where are we going now?
wait until we talk about the gaming community. Our final topic, Hollow Knight. Silksong. It's creating a buzz that is genuinely breaking the internet in its own sphere, maybe even more intensely than a playoff run for some fans.
Huh. I believe it. The anticipation is huge.
Right. It's the sequel to the critically acclaimed Hollow Knight. And fans have been waiting for years. So what are the recent announcements from Team Cherry, the developers? What's driving this current wave of excitement?
So the core of the buzz now comes from Team Cherry's, strategic reveals. They still haven't given an exact release date, which is sort of legendary in itself.
The eternal wait for Silksong.
Exactly. But the community stays incredibly hopeful and engaged because Team Cherry keeps drip-feeding information. They've revealed some really exciting new gameplay features.
Like what?
Well, new abilities for Hornet, the protagonist. Things like a silk dash for maybe more dynamic wall movement, a crafting mechanic using stuff dropped by enemies. That hints at much deeper combat and exploration.
Okay.
And entirely new enemies, new environments, like this bone-bottom desert area they showed. It looks like it offers totally different challenges compared to the original game setting, Hallownest. And Team Cherry has been really active with the community, pretty transparent about progress, which builds this incredibly strong connection, like a sense of ownership among the fans.
Those specifics really paint a picture of why gamers are so hyped.
Yeah.
And we have to remember the original Hollow Knight's legacy, right? It was just adored. Atmospheric soundtrack, beautiful hand-drawn art, really challenging but fair gameplay.
Masterpiece for many.
Absolutely. So the expectations for Silksong to expand on everything, story, characters, mechanics, are sky high. People want an even more immersive experience.
Understandably so.
But how is this game, even before it's out, kind of setting new standards for indie developers?
That's a really great question and a key insight from our sources. If you connect Silksong to the bigger picture of the gaming industry, it's not just a sequel. It's showing how narrative depth, artistic integrity of a meticulously crafted world, even from a small indie studio, can build loyalty that rivals massive AAA marketing budgets. It's becoming a benchmark, really, for pushing the boundaries of what independent games can do. It proves that quality, transparent development, focusing on the community that can sustain hype for years.
So it changes expectations for what indie means.
I think it does. It shows indie titles can be just as deep, just as polished as any major studio release. It's definitely inspiring others to push their own creative limits.
That's a powerful impact. So what's the broader industry response been like to the previews and info so far? And what are the market projections looking like for whenever it finally launches?
The industry response has been, well, overwhelmingly positive. Early reviews from people who've seen demos are praising the meticulous design, the immersive storytelling. They're noting how it builds on the original but adds genuinely new, innovative stuff.
Good signs.
Yeah, critics highlight the enhanced graphics, smoother gameplay, that rich, atmospheric soundtrack the first one was famous for, but even more refined now.
And sales potential.
The market impact is expected to be substantial. Sales projections are really strong. It's positioned to attract both the huge, dedicated fan base from the original and new players drawn in by the sheer reputation and critical acclaim after all this sustained buzz.
Okay. So, wow. We've really taken a deep dive into some diverse trending topics this week, haven't we?
We certainly have.
From the political discourse around Charlie Kirk to the pop culture buzz of the VMAs, the Ravens' strong start in the NFL, and that massive anticipation for Hollow Knight, Silksong. These really distinct stories have dominated online conversations, each fueled by that collective digital pulse. So what does it all mean for us trying to navigate this endless scroll?
Well, I think a critical takeaway here is just the cultural significance of these trends. They have this unique power to bring people together, spark discussions, debates across really different groups, even if those discussions sometimes get heated.
Right, shared experiences, even in disagreement.
Exactly. Whether it's shared excitement for an awards show, cheering for a team, waiting for a game, or engaging in intense political debate, these conversations reveal a lot about our collective cultural landscape.
Oh.
And maybe this raises a crucial challenge for you, the listener. In a world where information moves so incredibly fast and opinions are everywhere, how do you decide what truly deserves your deep dive attention? How do you separate the real insight from just the noise?
That is an excellent and definitely challenging thought to leave people with. As you go about your week, maybe keep an eye on how these seemingly disconnected topics continue to evolve. Maybe even see how they converge or reflect deeper shifts in our, well, ever-connected world.
Good thought.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.